While you think women are complicated and unpredictable, we actually use a precise signal system. We have a flirting algorithm that works every time, but only if the man knows the rules of the game. 5 specific questions. When she asks these questions, she's not just making conversation, she's quietly opening a door. Most men walk right past it, thinking it was just small talk. But first, if you want to understand female psychology better, hit that like button. It helps the channel grow and share more valuable insights like this. If you haven't subscribed yet, click subscribe and the bell icon so you never miss new secrets of female psychology. And drop a comment telling me what city you're watching from. I love knowing where our viewers are located around the world. The truth is, when a woman feels that pull toward you, her mind starts spinning with thoughts she'll never say out loud. She's curious, imagining, testing, not with bold moves, but with subtle signals hidden in conversation. These 5 questions are her way of saying, "I'm interested," without having to face the vulnerability of direct rejection. Question 1. Are you always this confident? What she's really asking, do you always carry this kind of power, or is it just with me? When a woman asks this question, she's not just making casual observation about your personality. She's testing your self-assurance while simultaneously flirting through admiration. Think about it. A woman who finds you boring or unattractive simply wouldn't bother asking about your confidence levels. She wouldn't be analyzing your behavior or trying to understand your character. This question reveals several psychological layers. First, she's already been observing you closely enough to notice patterns in your behavior. She's been watching how you carry yourself, how you interact with others, and how you handle different situations. That level of attention indicates interest beyond mere friendship. Second, she's giving you an opportunity to talk about yourself in a way that showcases your best qualities. She wants to hear you own your confidence, to see if you're comfortable in your own skin. A man who responds with humility mixed with self-assurance, "I know who I am and I'm comfortable with that," triggers something primal in her attraction mechanism. But here's what most men miss. She's not just admiring your confidence, she's measuring it. Not in business, not in conversation, but in the moments when control matters most. The kind of confidence that doesn't break under eye contact or tension. When she says, "always this confident," she's wondering if you maintain that same energy in intimate moments. She's imagining how you might take charge, how you might lead, how you might make her feel desired and pursued. The psychological subtext is even deeper. Confidence in men signals genetic fitness, emotional stability, and the ability to provide security. All evolutionary triggers for female attraction. When she asks this question, her subconscious is already evaluating you as a potential intimate partner. Women are incredibly attuned to authenticity. If your confidence is genuine, rooted in self-respect and life experience, she can sense it. And that authentic confidence is intoxicating to women because it promises an experience where she can let go of control and trust your leadership. The next question gets even more direct. Question 2. What's your type? What's really happening? She's comparing herself to what turns you on. This question is calibration disguised as casual curiosity. When a woman asks about your type, she's not conducting a sociological survey. She's fishing for information about whether she fits your desires, and more importantly, she's opening the door for you to notice and appreciate her specific qualities. Here's the psychological reality. If she wasn't attracted to you, she wouldn't care about your preferences. Think about all the men whose type you've never wondered about. They're the ones who don't trigger your interest. But when a woman is drawn to you, suddenly your preferences become fascinating because she wants to embody them. Watch for the follow-up questions. If she probes deeper about physical attributes, do you prefer blondes or brunettes? Or are you into fitness girls? She's not just curious, she's comparing. She's mentally checking off boxes, seeing how many of your stated preferences she can fulfill. But it goes beyond physical traits. When she asks about personality types or relationship preferences, it's not just small talk. She's mapping out your emotional wiring and quietly scanning for what turns you on without ever saying those words. She wants to know what pulls you in and whether she can become it. Do you like independent women or more traditional types? Isn't academic interest. It's her way of figuring out how to position herself in your mind. The most revealing version of this question comes when she asks about your experiences. What was your last girlfriend like? Or what attracts you to someone? These aren't innocent inquiries about your romantic history. She's studying your patterns, understanding what made other women irresistible to you, and figuring out how to trigger those same responses. There's also a competitive element here that most men don't recognize. Women are acutely aware of other women who might be competition. When she asks about your type, she's also assessing the field, figuring out what she's up against and how she can differentiate herself from other women in your orbit. The smartest response acknowledges her uniqueness while being slightly mysterious. I don't really have a type. I'm more attracted to energy and authenticity than specific looks. Tells her that she has a chance while keeping her curious about what exactly captivates you about her. But the third question is almost a direct invitation. Question 3. So, what would we even do if I came over? This is an invitation wrapped in a joke. Let me be crystal clear about what's happening here. No woman asks this question unless she's already mentally prepared for the possibility of coming over. She's not conducting a hypothetical thought experiment about your entertainment options. She's giving you an opening to escalate while maintaining plausible deniability if you don't pick up on the signal. This question is brilliant female psychology in action. By framing it as, what would we do? She's accomplishing several things simultaneously. She's testing whether you'll suggest something intimate or keep things safely platonic. She's giving you permission to be slightly bold in your response. And she's creating a scenario where you can invite her over without seeming too forward. The if in the question is crucial. It's not when I come over. That would be too direct, too vulnerable. The if gives her an escape route if you respond poorly or seem uninterested. But make no mistake, she's hoping you'll turn that if into a when. Pay attention to how she asks it. If there's a playful tone, if she's smiling, if she seems genuinely curious about your answer, she's not just making conversation. She's opening a door and seeing if you're brave enough to walk through it. This question often comes after she's already been to your place mentally. She's been wondering about your living situation, imagining what it would be like to be alone with you, thinking about the possibilities. The question is her way of moving from imagination to potential reality. The key is in your response. If you suggest watching a movie or having dinner, you're missing the subtext. If you confidently suggest something that creates opportunity for physical closeness, we'd probably start with wine and see where the conversation takes us. You're speaking her language. But here's what separates confident men from clueless ones. Recognizing that this question is her way of saying, I'm ready if you are. She's not asking because she's bored or needs entertainment suggestions. She's asking because she's attracted and wants to create an opportunity for intimacy. The fourth question taps into something even more primal. Question 4. Do you always smell this good? This isn't just a compliment, it's instinct. Scent is one of the most powerful triggers of female arousal. And when a woman comments on how you smell, she's not just being polite. She's revealing something deeply biological about her attraction to you. The female olfactory system is incredibly sophisticated when it comes to detecting genetic compatibility and intimate attraction through scent. Here's what's happening on a psychological level. When she notices and comments on your scent, it means she's been close enough to register it, and more importantly, her brain has categorized it as appealing. This isn't conscious, it's primal. Her subconscious mind is already associating your scent with pleasure and attraction. The question itself reveals that she's been thinking about getting closer to you. Scent requires proximity. For her to notice and remember how you smell, she's already been imagining what it would be like to be in your personal space more often. She might be wondering how that scent would linger on her clothes, her hair, her skin. But there's another layer here that most men completely miss. When a woman asks if you always smell good, She's thinking about consistency. She's wondering if this appealing scent is something she could experience regularly. She's not just complimenting you in the moment, she's testing whether this attraction would sustain over time. From an evolutionary perspective, scent compatibility indicates genetic diversity, which leads to healthier offspring. While she's not consciously thinking about reproduction, her biology is responding to you as a viable genetic partner. That's why this seemingly innocent compliment about cologne or natural scent carries so much weight. The timing of this question matters too. If she mentions your scent during conversation, while you're sitting close together, or after physical contact like a hug, she's not just noticing, she's savoring. She's allowing herself to be affected by your presence on a sensory level. Women also use scent as a memory anchor. If she's attracted to you, she wants to remember how being near you feels. Commenting on your scent helps her encode that positive association in her memory. Later, when she's alone, thinking about you, she'll remember not just how you looked, but how you made her feel through all her senses. The most telling version of this question comes with physical proximity. If she leans in slightly when she asks, if she seems to breathe deeper, if she lingers in your personal space, she's not just complimenting your grooming choices. She's showing you that being close to you affects her physically. And now, the most direct question of all. Question 5. Do you live alone? This is a direct question disguised as small talk. Let's cut through any pretense here. When an attracted woman asks if you live alone, she's not conducting a census or making conversation about housing arrangements. She's gathering intelligence about privacy, opportunity, and logistics. She wants to know if there would be witnesses, interruptions, or complications if things escalated between you. This question represents a significant escalation in her interest. She's moved past, wondering if you're attracted to her, and is now thinking about practical considerations for intimacy. She's not asking because she needs roommate advice or wants to understand your living situation for friendship purposes. The psychology behind this question is fascinating. A woman's desire isn't just about attraction, it's about safety. She's not just asking to flirt, she's asking to feel out the space, to see if you're the kind of man who makes her body relax, her mind let go, and her guard drop. Because when a woman feels safe, her sensuality isn't hidden, it unfolds. Knowing that you live alone signals several things to her. Privacy for intimate conversations, no unexpected interruptions, and the freedom to be spontaneous without worrying about judgment from others. But it's more than just logistics. Living alone often indicates independence, self-sufficiency, and the ability to create your own environment. These are attractive qualities that suggest you can provide a secure space for intimacy. She's wondering if your place would feel welcoming, if she could relax there, if it would be somewhere she'd want to spend time. Watch for the follow-up questions or comments. If she asks about your neighbors, your schedule, or makes observations about privacy, she's mentally mapping out the scenario. She's thinking about timing, opportunity, and comfort levels. Sometimes this question comes with qualifiers. Do you live alone, or do you have roommates? The way she frames it tells you something about her intentions. If she seems disappointed when you mention roommates, or excited when you confirm you live alone, her interest is clear. The most direct version of this question happens when she's already decided she wants to escalate things with you. At that point, she's not just curious, she's planning. She's moved from attraction to action, and she needs to know if the practical elements align with her desires. Here's what makes this question so powerful. It requires courage for her to ask. She knows that asking about your living situation in the context of obvious mutual attraction makes her intentions clear. She's taking a risk, being vulnerable, and hoping you'll recognize the signal and respond appropriately. The confident response acknowledges the subtext without being crude. Yes, I live alone. It's nice having my own space. Communicates availability while maintaining sophistication. You're confirming that opportunity exists without being too explicit about what that opportunity might entail. Now that you've heard the 5 questions, here's what most men never get to understand. It's a language women were taught to speak in shadows. Society conditioned us to be subtle, soft, indirect, to hint but never claim, to show interest without ever making the first move. Because the moment a woman owns her desire too openly, she's labeled, dismissed, misunderstood, so instead, she lets the questions do the talking. And if you're the kind of man who listens between the lines, you'll hear exactly what she's really saying. The most important thing to remember is that these questions rarely come in isolation. If you're hearing multiple questions from this list, especially in the same conversation or over a short period of time, she's not just curious, she's actively pursuing you. She's moved from passive attraction to active interest, and she's giving you every opportunity to recognize and reciprocate that interest. But missing these signals repeatedly can be relationship ending. If she's putting herself out there with these subtle invitations and you're treating them as casual conversation, she'll eventually assume you're not interested and move on. Women don't keep dropping hints indefinitely. At some point, they interpret lack of response as lack of interest. Understanding these 5 questions gives you a massive advantage in dating and relationships. You'll start recognizing when women are interested before they have to spell it out for you. You'll catch signals that other men miss completely. And you'll be able to respond with the confidence and sophistication that women find irresistible. Remember, when you hear these questions, don't second-guess yourself or overthink the situation. Trust your instincts and respond with confidence. She's already told you she's interested. Now it's your turn to show her you understand and reciprocate that interest. The key is calibrated confidence. You want to acknowledge the subtext without being crude or presumptuous. Show her that you're picking up on her signals while maintaining the sophistication and emotional intelligence that attracted her in the first place. Which of these questions have you heard most often? Drop a comment and tell me what city you're watching from. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more secrets of relationship psychology. See you in the next video.